All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the Shinola Lake Erie Monster. Now, there's current models that are also called that, but they're not this one. This is the one that Shinola released around, I think it was like November of 2017. I actually posted a video because I'm a subscriber, so I get the emails when new products come out and everything like that. Oh, in case you didn't know, I actually like the brand. I like Shinola. I like their watches. I've owned some. I've worn them. I have one now on loan that I'm wearing, and I have some in for video. So I'm excited to cover this. And if you will hear me out, I think you will find that they're a much more interesting brand than you might think. So if you're closed-minded and you're anti-Shinola, then I'll stop you right now. You're only less than a minute in. You can go ahead and click off this video and go do something else. Give me a thumbs down if that helps you, sleep at night. But go ahead, give me 2 thumbs down if that helps you sleep even better. So, but what we're looking at is the Shinola Lake Erie Monster Argomatic R-150. So this was their first automatic watch they've done, and it was a movement that was actually, I think this movement was released by Ronda, who has now kind of changed ownership a little bit, but they're typically known for Quartz Movements, which is who provides the movements for all the other Shinola watches. So that it was nice that they were able to work with the same company, and they produced this movement here, which is called the R-150. You can look it up, or I'll put a link in the description to Ronda R-150 movement information. But it's basically kind of like an ETA 2824. It has like 40-hour power reserve, 25 joules. It's, architecture is probably very similar to an ETA 2824. I don't know the whole inner workings of it and everything like that. I'm not a movement snob when it comes to that stuff. But I love ETA 2824s. So if somebody's going to make a movement that's very similar to it, then I am probably going to be a fan of that movement. And that's what we have here. Now, the newer ones, the newer Lake Monsters from Shinola are using the Salida movement. So I don't know what happened with the R-150 from Ronda, but I would have liked to have seen more. But anyway, let's get back to this watch. Let's just cover the specs real quick, and then we'll get into what the kit is and how cool this watch is. So 43 millimeter case, about 51.5 lug to lug. The thickness is about 15.5. And that's, it's a thick watch, but, the way the case back is done, and then it also has a single domed sapphire crystal with AR coating. So that adds to the thickness for sure. Plus it's a 300 meter water depth rating. The lug width here is 22 millimeter, and this bracelet, which is awesome bracelet, tapers down to 18 millimeter. And you have a nice 7 millimeter screw down crown with the Shinola little lightning bolt thing on the crown. Sized up for about a 7¼ inch wrist. This thing weighs in at 195 grams. This thing is hefty. It's got some weight to it for sure. Let's take a look at the case back here, and then we'll take a look at the front and everything. So you have the Lake Erie Monster. This was a special limited edition. You can see there the number 329 of 500. That's right, they only made 500 of these. They launched them on November 7th of 2017 using a movement that had only been produced and announced at Basel World a year prior. So there's all kinds of first on this watch from this brand. You'll also notice a little blue sapphire in the eye of the Lake Erie Monster. Nice touch. That is very cool to see that. And it's very soft, smooth. There's no rough edges. You also notice that with all Shinolas, they take 4 screws and they actually screw the case back to the watch case. Now, how do they do that and still get a 300 meter water depth rating? I have no idea, but that's how they do it on all their divers. I'd be happy to test it out if I ever actually pick one up to own. Actually, I have the Shinola Burton that has a decent water depth rating on it. I could see about getting it tested, but so it seems to work. So if we look at the front side here, you're going to see a ink gloss black dial. I mean, that is like basically like an enamel or lacquer dial or something. It is crazy glossy. A really nice high polished handset and applied indices. Nice lightning bolt applied up there in deep silver print that is like thick. If I can get close enough and see it, you'll see that Shinola and the Argomatic R-150 is actually very thick printed on there. You have a offset at 4 o'clock, cutout date window with a black date wheel, white printing. I think the other lake monsters are going to have the white date wheel, I'm pretty sure. So that would be one way to tell the difference from this one to the newer ones. The other big tell would be this one has like a engraved ceramic bezel insert, whereas the other ones actually have like a regular ceramic bezel insert. It does have a 120 click bezel, which I'll operate in a moment. But you can see the interesting case shape on this. It's very unique. It's kind of bellied out. It's going to add to the comfort. And you can see how well that bracelet fits to the case and articulates. So if we zoom back out, we can operate the bezel. Very nice, clean, crisp, consistent all the way through its range. And it lines up, okay? The clasp. I pointed this out on another video. Look how thin and sleek that clasp is, but you'll notice an absence of any holes on the side of it. So you don't have micro adjust, right? Well, wrong. There are micro adjust. They're just done very cleverly. So you have this little button in here, and you can pull it out, and it has quite a bit of range to it and quite a few positions. So you're going to get an excellent fit on this, guaranteed. They're nice short links. And they're not screwed pins, which I am fine with. It's actually pin and collar, but it has the center collar, much like a Christopher Ward would use or something. And the bracelet is just phenomenal. I'm absolutely in love with the bracelet, the clasp, and the watch and everything. Hopefully I'll be able to check out the titanium version, because they have a titanium version of this that is current with a white dial. But let's get back to this watch. When this launched, there was only 500 of them. They actually sold out pretty quick. I had contemplating buying one at then, and I kind of wish I would have, but I'm not a keeper anyway. I'm a flipper, so I probably wouldn't have capitalized on the profit that's available to this watch now. The retail price on this at launch was $2,250, and it comes with this really cool kit. It comes in this big cardboard box with a bunch of other stuff. It has this metal box which houses the watch and 2 extra straps. So it has like this Cordova type material or ballistic nylon or whatever the heck it is, leather backed. Shinola straps are awesome. Also comes with a rubber strap. It comes with tools. Pretty much all Shinola watches, when purchased from like a, like new, not in their clearance or anything, are going to come with this aluminum, bodied tool with a fork and a push pin. So they all come with that. And if I'm not mistaken, because this was in the box that my buddy Detroit Spartan sent over with his watch, it also came with this handy little thing here. So you can adjust the catch and the throw and everything, so you can get it dialed right in so it's the right amount. It has 2 forks. So this is, I've never actually used a tool like this. I'd be curious to actually use one and see if I like it. So maybe teach an old dog new trick sort of thing. So what is this watch doing now, today? Because I just said I wish I would have bought one because they're worth more now. Well, $2,250 in 2017. There's one on, it's one of those things, right? Because there are only 500 of them. So you're kind of going to be subjected to how much the seller is asking. So depending on how much the end user wants to invest. So there's one listed on eBay right now for $7,400. And they're all used, right, at this point. So that's quite a lot of money. I don't think anyone's going to buy that at $7,400, but I could be wrong. I think StockX has them for $4,500, or maybe you can put in an offer or something, and somebody who has one, they'll sell it. I'm not sure how StockX works. One did sell on eBay a little while ago for $3,000, so there was still a profit. And the only reason I point this out is because everyone bashes on Shinola for like value retention or overpriced or whatever like that, but they have special limited edition models that actually increase, and there's a history to prove what I'm saying. Now, if you just go buy a run-of-the-mill Runwell quartz, yeah, you're going to take a bath on that thing. You're going to probably lose like half your money. So, you could shop those used, or make sure you're the end user when you do buy that. Other than that, if you buy the limited edition Shinolas, they typically do well. The other thing that I forgot to mention that come in this kit was this Princeton Tech Diver flashlight, which there's no, I think it takes 2 CR123 batteries on it. I should probably throw some batteries in it and check it out. But it's a nice LED flashlight, really well built. Shinola doesn't, yeah, there's the branding. Shinola doesn't chimp out on their products, like their leather goods, their clocks. If you ever get a chance to check one out, they're like wall clocks or even desk clocks are crazy heavy. They're really, solid, well-built things, and so are their watches, really. So I think I covered everything. We're over 10 minutes on this. Let's pop it on wrist and see what it looks like on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. I love this clasp. There it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. And I think the one, I was originally looking at the white dial in titanium, but now I'm actually leaning towards, they have one with a really nice red dial with a blue bezel. It kind of matches a lot of the lighthouses on the west coast of Michigan, kind of where I live. So that one kind of speaks to me a little bit. I might actually pick up the red dial with a blue bezel. I could see doing that. We'll see. Those ones are like $1,450. So $1,450 for a new one right now that you can, and they're not limited, so you can just go buy one. And they come with a nice kit. They still have the metal box and everything. $1,675 for the titanium, or if you want to they have some models that don't have the metal bracelet for $1,250. But God, you're gonna want this bracelet and clasp. So try to get one of the models for $1,450, and they're gonna have the Solida SW movement in it. So maybe I can reach out to Shinola and maybe they'll work with me. There's not a ton of fresh videos on YouTube with their branding, so maybe they'll work with me. Who knows? I'm one of the more positive videos. So if we kill the lights, we check the lume, you're going to notice a little touch of dual lume. So you have a really bright, beautiful green, which is probably going to be C3, and then you have a touch of, it looks like BGW9, just at the 12 o'clock on the bottom portion of that indice. So excellent lume on these, as you would expect with a dive watch. Guys, thanks for watching. Big thanks to Detroit Spartan for sending this watch over and some other watches. I'll catch you on the next vid.